Wastelanders and Vault Dwellers, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm your host Tupper, the Fallout Guy, your ultimate guide to all things Fallout. Today, I'm joined by my friend Cornicius as we take a deep dive, a radioactive plunge into Fallout 76's latest update, the Ghoul Within. Buckle up, because this one's going to be a wild ride through the irradiated depths of the Wasteland. This update, which launched on March 18th, 2025, finally lets players become ghouls, and trust me, this isn't just a cosmetic change. This update completely rewires how you experience Fallout 76. From gameplay mechanics to NPC interactions, new perks, and a whole new survival system that flips everything on its head. So, if you're curious about how to transform into a full-blown ghoul, how the new perks work, what happens when you start turning feral, or even how NPCs treat you differently, stick around. We're about to break it all down. Grab your Rad-X, stock up on stim packs, and let's get started.
So, you want to join the ranks of the undead and embrace the glow? Well, before you start ripping off your skin and practicing your best smooth skin insult, there's a process you need to follow. First off, you must be level 50. If you're currently not at level 50 yet, you can also boost a character to level 50 in the Atomic Shop for 1500 atoms.
This makes sense. You need some serious experience in the Wasteland before undergoing such a drastic transformation.
Once you hit level 50, the Leap of Faith quest automatically unlocks. You'll receive a distress signal over your Pip-Boy, leading you to the White Springs Refuge, where you'll meet a fellow named Lehman Price. Once you process through the dialogue, you will be informed of a hidden group of ghouls, trying to survive in the world that hates them. During this quest, you'll meet two important characters. Parthenia, a former human who willingly underwent ghoulification, and guides you through the process. And Asher, a skeptical ghoul who warns you of the risks but ultimately lets you make your own decision. This quest isn't just a simple press X to become a ghoul. No, you'll have to prove your worth by surviving extreme radiation zones without protection and acquiring radiated ore while fending off feral ghouls. Do you fully commit to the ghoul transformation, or do you back out at the last minute? If you go through with it, congratulations. You're no longer fully human, but your journey has only just begun. However, if you do wish to return to a human, you can do so for free in the character selection from the main menu. If later on you do want to become a ghoul again, you will have to spend 1000 atoms. Furthermore, this transformation is only accessible to the public lobbies. There isn't an option to switch back and forth on the custom worlds for the time being.
Now that you've ditched your smooth skin, let's talk about what really changes when you become a ghoul. Unlike normal humans who suffer from radiation poisoning, ghouls thrive in it. The more radiation you absorb, the stronger you get, thanks to a new system called glow levels. No need for Radaway anymore. In fact, using it hurts you. Instead of hunger and thirst, ghouls now have a feral meter. If you go too long without absorbing radiation or interacting with others, your mind starts slipping into feral mode. This can lead to blurred vision, erratic attacks, and even NPCs fearing you. You gain access to exclusive perks like Jaguar Speed, sprint 10% faster and up to 20% when glow is high, Bone Shatterer, 45% chance to cripple limbs with melee attacks. Glowing hunter traces of glowing blood now have a 50% chance to appear on animal corpses. So basically, the more irradiated you are, the more powerful you become. But push too far, and you might just lose yourself. So, Wastelanders, the Ghoul Within isn't just another update, it's a complete revolution in how we experience Fallout 76. This update doesn't just add new content, it reshapes the entire way we play, survive, and interact in the Wasteland. Whether you choose to embrace the mutation or fight to keep your humanity, the Ghoul Within challenges everything we thought we knew about life after the bombs fell. Get ready, because this update is about to take Fallout 76 to a whole new level.
One of the biggest changes in the Ghoul Within update isn't just how you play, it's how the world reacts to you. NPCs treat you differently. Some vendors won't sell to you unless you prove you're still sane. Settlers and raiders react uniquely. Some treat you like an outsider, while others welcome you as one of their own. Faction restrictions. The Brotherhood of Steel. They hate ghouls. If you try to enter a Brotherhood base, you might need a disguise, which you can acquire one from J. Vo, who resides in the Radiant Hills. The Responders and Crater Raiders. They're more accepting, but still weary. The Mothman cultists. They actually welcome ghouls, believing they are blessed by the glow. New survival mechanics. Feral meter adds depth to role-playing. Exclusive perks that make ghouls OP in the right hands. A fresh take on faction interactions.
Once you've been transformed into a ghoul, your food and drink meters will disappear and will be replaced with something called the feral meter. So instead of the hunger and thirst, you battle against annoying desire to slip back in your base nature, abandoning all sanity you might have. This meter has 7,200 points and drains at 1 point per second, meaning it takes 120 minutes or 2 hours to go from full to empty. Like the current food and drink meters, your feral meter provides different buffs, debuffs, and stats depending on how full or how empty the meter is. There is 5 stages to the feral meter. These are wonderful, normal, odd, losing it. And feral, the meter must be at 0% or completely empty in order for the game to register you as feral.
The feral meter can be refilled in 3 ways. By consuming chems, by using right away, and by using the action Diet Legendary perk, which refills a portion of the meter on every kill. Chems, however, are the most reliable and immediate method. Chems refill the feral meter by different amounts, with some restoring more than others. The Chems Diet perk card further boosts this amount. For a full list of all chems and their exact refill values, check the guide linked in the description below. While ghouls no longer have the food and drink meters, the food and drinks buff still apply as normal if you have herbivore or carnivore mutations. You'll still receive the increased benefits from the food, and Strange in Numbers perk will further enhance these buffs when you're on a team, since the game registers your food and drink levels as permanently empty.
Perk cards like Rejuvenated will not work, and armor effects such as Overeaters will provide no benefits. The healing factor Mutation does not affect or impact the amount of feral each chem gives, and the class Freight perk card does not reduce the negatives or affect the drain rate of the feral meter. Several perk cards interact with the feral meter, either helping to fill it slow, its strain rate, or only activating when the meter is at 0%. These perk cards include Legendary perk Action Diet, Legendary perk Feral Rage, Endurance perk, Chem Diet Charisma perk, Feral Presence perk, Charisma perk, and Moral Support perk.
Finding out how to start the quest once you hit 50. It's called the Leap of Faith. And to start the actual quest, you've got to go to your Pip-Boy and listen to the distress signal. Then it'll guide you over to the White Springs Refuge, where you will meet a new NPC character called Lehman Price. Basically, when you get there, in short, you'll have a long conversation, but he's basically got a week left to live due to radiation sickness, unless he finds some alternative way to stay alive. Spoiler alert. Of course, that is becoming a ghoul. Now, Lehman does need some help in this endeavor. To do this, you've got to guide him and protect him to finding out this new radiation specialist. Now, this part of the quest takes you up to the very far top right of the map, where you'll find a new location called the Hillside Coven, which is this new retreat for ghouls where they come and hide out and live there out of the way of humans, who kind of treat them in a different kind of way and don't treat them as well as they should.
When you get there, you realize that Lehman's being held captive by these people to a degree, held at gunpoint, and you've got to talk them out of it and ensure that you're there to get help from them, and you're not posing a threat or anything like that, and you're actually there to help. You'll then be sent over to the Emmett Mountain disposal site, where you've got to go collect some radiation goods to help them with their experiment, which will save Lehman's life. I want you all that you get this kind of weird interaction between Asher, who is one of the kind of tough guy ghouls, so to speak, and one of the Emmett Mountain kind of workers who he's going to kill, and you can either let them kill them or you can talk them out of it. It's completely up to yourself. I'll let you guys experience all that conversation yourselves when you get the playlist when the update does come out, but basically once you've decided to do whatever you want to do with this person. You then will head back over to the hillside cavern where you can then convince Lehman whether to be a ghoul or not.
After this is done, the main scientist will tell you that they want to experiment more and make more ghouls, because ghouls are amazing, and this and that. Then you'll get the option to become a ghoul if you want to. The transaction is very easy. All you do is breathe in an inhaler and go in the radiation chamber. Then you are literally a ghoul, and just like that, in 30 minutes of gameplay, you will complete the new quest and you will become a ghoul. Now, to me personally, I did want it to be a bit of a longer quest line. With this, I hope there's going to be a bit more. I know that you can complete it in 30 minutes when you take your time. If you want to skip over the audio, you could do it even faster. This was a bit disappointing, but it was quite cool and I did enjoy it for what it was. And being a ghoul is quite cool.
You find out this new location, which I'm not sure too much. I'll leave that up to you guys to kind of find out. It's quite cool, just like a little retreat, reminds me of the railway from like Fallout 4. Yeah, I didn't dive too much into this location, no doubt. There'll be some cool stories, and maybe a side quest, I don't know, but that would be quite cool if there was. If there isn't, I'll be a bit disappointed. There's definitely some little bits of wandering around. You can do that to kind of explore the location. Alright, so now that I am finally a ghoul, and I've got to say that was pretty cool, I do like it, and there's some kind of weird new camera angle, like when you walk around and let's say look to the left or right, the camera angle turns. Look at that, how strange is that? That's pretty cool. That's something like a new feature, but your head's turning while you're still walking. That's pretty cool anyways. Let's take a look at the new ghoul perks.
We've got one that is called Arms of Steel. This one says your sturdy arms reduce your range and recoil, increasing accuracy by 15%, and this has 2 ranks, going up to 30. The next one is called Bone Shatter, which is for melee weapons, and it says your weapon attacks has a 15, 30, or 40% chance to cripple a limb, depending on the perk stage, so pretty solid one for melee builds. Alright, so you also got Brick Wall, which is only 1 rank, but it does cost 2 points. This perk states that when your glow is high, it makes you immune to stagger attacks.
The next ghoul perk is Radioactive Strength, and this one is expend a moderate amount of glow to deal 50% more damage with power attacks and bashing. This goes up to 100 and then 150%. So this could pretty much be a pretty powerful perk, especially if you're going to be running a kind of glowing ghoul build. That is something which I haven't fully explored yet, so I will be exploring that after I've made this video to get content ideas over the next week or so. So, Wastelanders, the Ghoul Within is more than just an update. It's a complete shift in how we experience Fallout 76. What do you think? Are you going full ghoul, or are you keeping your smooth skin? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Until next time, stay irradiated, my friends. I'm Tupper The Fallout Guy.
And I'm Cornelius.
Sons of Blackburn out.
You're supposed to do the countdown.
I thought you were going.